So things are a bit tight for a lot of people these days. So I thought it would be nice to maybe make a video showing how you can telling you rather, not showing you. I'm not technically brilliant enough to do the whole screen record thing, but I'll leave relevant links and stuff back down below to what I'm talking about. But telling people how to get stuff for free or for a good price. Hello everybody, welcome to and welcome back to my channel Book Time with Elvis with me, Mark, and I hope very much that you're all doing super. Next month is October, and that means, of course, Victober, which is a wonderful reading event hosted by a plethora of wonderful ladies. All the links will be down below to the wonderful hosts. And it's a great event. I'm not sure yet myself if I shall be partaking this year, because I read a lot of Victorian literature all the time anyway, so I don't just wait for the month of October. But I know a lot of people maybe don't, and they do wait for this time to come along, and then they think about what kind of books to get. Now, of course, there are many ways to get books, either cheaply or for free. Obviously, you can use your local library. You can go to secondhand bookshops and that kind of thing. But if you are interested in just using ebooks, then of course there are loads of places you can go on the internet, because all Victorian literature is in the public domain, so it's free. You don't have to spend money to get it. Now, the obvious choice, of course, is Project Gutenberg. There's a load of stuff on there. There's also Project Gutenberg Australia, which may have some different things on it, or things that aren't available perhaps on Project Gutenberg, the normal site. Also, there's the Canadian version called Faded Page. That has a lot of stuff, and it has perhaps not just for Victober, it has more recent stuff. So you could find stuff published more recently, because the copyright laws in Canada were different. It's changed this year, but anything that they put in the public domain prior to the change in the law remains in the public domain in Canada, where a lot of the world has the life of the author plus 70 years. With Canada, it was 50 years. So, of course, there are things out that aren't out elsewhere. Now, I suppose technically, you're probably not supposed to use it, but, there's no block on it, right? So, who knows? I don't know. I think if it's there and it's that old, does it really matter? I'm sure maybe some people have problems with it or not. But also, a lot of people probably forget that many of these classics are available for free on Amazon itself. Yeah, you have to dig, because of course they promote very often the paid versions. I mean, can only be a case of $1 or 99 cents or something like that. But if you root around, Amazon does release its own version of these free classics, which would be perfect for Victober. And there's a whole range of things, from probably authors you may not even have heard of. And I think that's the wonderful thing with an event like Victober is, yes, you can go down the path of reading the well-known books, but then it's sometimes fun to explore the lesser-known authors and lesser-known works, maybe from well-known authors as well. So don't rule out Amazon. Now, if you're into audiobooks, of course, you can use LibriVox, which maybe most of you know about already. It's a bit hit and miss with LibriVox, because they are audiobooks recorded by volunteers. Some of them are excellent and some of them are not. Sometimes with big books you end up with a range of narrators, which can kind of provide an interesting reading experience or not, depending on the book and how it's organized. But it's still worth it because it's free, and if you're somebody who prefers audiobooks, that is a good route to take. The other thing as well is if you subscribe to Audible. So if you're already subscribed to Audible, you're paying a monthly fee, and there are lots of books included in your membership, so you don't have to just wait each month for the credit to get an audiobook. You can find, again, a lot of wonderful versions of classics done very professionally that are included within your membership. So that's one route. Now, as I said, this is on a budget, so it's not necessarily getting everything for free. There is another company called Delphi Classics, which produce collections by authors. Sometimes they're complete works, sometimes they're collected works if they're not, if everything the author isn't available, or perhaps for some authors, some work is in the public domain and some isn't yet. But that, of course, wouldn't necessarily be the case for Victorian writers, because their works will be in the public domain, unless they were extremely long-lived, which, maybe some of them are. But Delphi is, I think, a wonderful resource, and they have fantastic collections. And for, I think between $1.99 or $2.99, you can get the complete works of some really amazing authors. And again, some authors that are not that well known who have written rather interesting works. Now, if you don't want to use their website, most of Delphi's titles, if not all of them, are again available on Amazon for the same price. So you don't have to buy it or purchase it directly from Delphi's website. And if you do want to get, new paperback versions of classics, then of course you have wonderful classics produced by Wordsworth Classics, for example, or Dover Thrift, things like that. There are some also, of course, print-on-demand classics as well, but they're not necessarily cheaper. If you want something a bit different in kind of the mid-range price for the classics, then especially if you're in the UK, you can probably get them in the US through bookshops, but in the UK you can order directly from the publisher, and that's going to someone like Alma Classics, where they retail around $6.99, $7.99, something like that, which, when you compare to Oxford World Classics or Penguin Classics, it's a good few pounds cheaper, so that can well be worth it. But with an event, as I say, like Victober, you don't have to break the bank, you don't have to go out there and buy things. Remember that a lot of resources are available online, especially if you want to, if you're into reading ebooks. And also, I forgot to mention archive.org as well, which is a massive project that has loads of stuff on in the public domain. So you can kind of even heighten your Victober experience by not only hunting down Victorian works through archive.org, but also even recordings of music and things like that from the end of the Victorian era. Of course, the quality is extremely old and strange, but it's well worth exploring all that sites like that have to offer. So I just thought it would be nice to basically let you know that there are these things available, and many of you probably knew this already, but if you didn't, here you go. And please, I invite anybody to put in the comments their own suggestions for places to get free or cheap versions of classics, or even physical copies as well, if they have any suggestions of particular publishers who they believe to be reasonably priced and of good quality. Before I go, I just want to take the opportunity to thank my wonderful patrons for their continued support. I'm still absolutely overwhelmed by the fact that I've got, for me, many more than I thought I would get, and I'm really enjoying working with you in the Patreon community. Of course, everybody else is welcome to join. All links and information are down below. But thanks again for watching. Do check out the channels of the Victober hosts, and happy reading. Take care, everybody. All the best. Bye bye.